Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today as we dive into the news. What has happened at Chelsea and away, mainly away today. There's a couple of things at Chelsea which we're going to cover to start off, but there have been other things kicking off across Manchester United, England, and there's been elsewhere as well, Real Madrid. We're going to get into all of that, so make sure you guys are sticking to the end to get the lowdown on every single thing that I'm going to cover in this video. Let's start off at home though, right? Charity starts at home. Let's sort ourselves out first. Let's start with Chelsea. What's the latest? Well, Joe Cole decided to speak and he was on TalkSport and he said a few things and I thought, you know what? It's only right we cover this because what he said had substance. And I feel like it's important to mention. Let's get into his words and then we'll analyze it and then we'll go from there. Here's Joe Cole. If I was advising the board, I'd say that we've bought these youngsters, spent a lot of money on them. They're all getting better. Great, we're improving. I'd say some. I wouldn't say all. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. Some, definitely. But we keep reading. But why don't we sprinkle some good quality, experienced players into the group over the next few years? They don't have to play every game, but they can help. They can come in and out and set standards within the group. I think that would help the club as a whole. So like I put on Twitter when I saw this, now Joe Cole is starting to speak my sort of language. Yeah, he went on to use a couple of examples and I understand exactly what he means by it. And I think he's correct, but correct in the context, not in terms of the actual players that he's listed. He spoke about why don't we maybe try and go in for a Modric or we go in for a Toni Kroos. And I'm like, yes. I mean, look, right now I would, but realistically, is Modric going to come in and not even just play, but is he even going to be at the club for long? No. Modric is going to start thinking about retirement. Same goes for Toni Kroos, maybe a year or two tops, but he's 34. When we talk about experience, it's not just in terms of age, it's in terms of quality as well. You can get players that are in their prime right now, 29, 30 years old, 28, around there, who have been around the block. That's, I think, the sort of profile that we should be looking at. Not players that are going to just come in and for the next year or two, you know, albeit it will be better than nothing, I'll be honest. Right now, it's better than nothing. But we need to, as far as I'm concerned, build a spine that is established already. And then blossom the youngsters and the young prospects that we have in this team around that spine in order for them to grow and then take the reins with time to come. That's the balance. But Joe Cole now talking about this, which he's not really mentioned before, is promising. And in the space of a week, we saw Frank Lampard talk about the strategy of the club and whether, you know, now that we look back in hindsight, can questions be asked? Yes. And now Joe Cole is coming out with this. I fully agree. And it's obvious as far as I'm concerned. Look, if the club want to think about trying to get to a decent level in the near future, this needs to be addressed. This has to be addressed. Not saying kick all the youngsters out. No. Like some of the youngsters we've actually got, or the players that we have at the moment that are actually playing well. Cole Palmer, Gusto, even, look, Petrovic, shining example. You know, there are players there that are showing, let's be honest, Jackson, compared to how he was at the beginning to how he is now, less mistakes. A lot less mistakes. Happy. Cool. Keep it up. So imagine those sort of players with proper established pedigree in there that can set a level and set a tone, not just during a game, but in training as well, from Monday to Friday. Joe Cole's words here, like I said, are now starting to sound like my sort of language. So I think it needs to be addressed, and fair play to Joe Cole for mentioning. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. This relates to the point of yesterday. We spoke about Raheem Sterling. And Raheem Sterling's meant to be one of the seniors, one of the most experienced. And gotta add a bit of context here, yeah? People are like, oh no, we'll get off his back because he's a nice guy. I'm not talking about if he's a nice guy or not. You know what? I actually think he is a nice guy. He's spoken very highly of by some of the young lads in the team. In terms of his personality, he actually looks like he's got a bit of a character. He looks like a bit of a laugh. I wouldn't mind, probably hanging out with a Sterling. He seems like a cool guy. But forget that. Talking with a ball on a pitch. That's all I'm bothered about here. Not saying he's not a nice guy. But in terms of what he's bringing on the football pitch, we are now having to hold Sterling. We're in a position where we have to hold Sterling as one of the leaders in the team when he's not a leader. He's not. He's one of the most senior players, established players in the team, but is he setting the tone? Is he setting the standard? Is he setting the level? Well, no. That's the problem. We're in this situation where we have to look to a Sterling because there's no one else. Why have we put ourselves in this situation in the first place? That's my point. So, Joe Cole's words definitely need to be addressed. And let's see what the club decide to do. Talking about going into the summer and going into the transfer window and in turn as well pre-season. The schedule for pre-season has come out. Let's check this out. This is going to be hilarious. So, in the States, we are heading off, and this is 5. If I'm not mistaken, I think there are 6 now. Because I think there was another game, and I think it's against Real Madrid that was now announced. No, Real Madrid's included. There's another game. Is it Arsenal? I think we're playing Arsenal. But anyway, there's 5 here. I think there's 6. Wrexham, July 24th, in Santa Clara. Celtic, July 27th. I know some people are not going to be happy with that one because, the Rangers connection and that. But anyway. Club America, July 31st, Atlanta. Man City, August 3rd, Columbus. And as well as that, Real Madrid, August 6th. And that is in Charlotte. Now, as I am trying to see if there's any word on... Is there any word on... No, there isn't. Nothing on the app. Because the app at the moment has all Chelsea women. Because Chelsea women are playing a Champions League game. Would be nice to take part in terms of the men. But they're playing a Champions League game and they're playing against Ajax. So fair play. And hopefully they go and do the business. Go on the ladies. Absolutely kill it. But yeah, there's no actual confirmation of the preseason tour on here as of today. But I think there is a 6th game. This needs to be taken into context here. It's a packed out schedule in the States, flying from west to east, basically, through that time. And we've got straight after the Euros. The European players, I think, will be joining up with this team maybe after about the 3rd game. So there's not going to be any rest. Bearing in mind, there's the Olympics as well. Now, the Olympics is where... I think some people think that, oh my God, we're going to the Olympics as well. They're not going to be able to cope. Chelsea have veto. All the clubs have veto. If they don't want to release any players to the Olympics, they don't have to because the Olympics are not part of FIFA. It's part of the Olympic Committee, and that's not the same organisation, which means we don't have to withhold to their rules, which means that Chelsea have say. If they want to keep players back, they absolutely can just by veto, by choice. So the players would have to listen to the club. So that's that. But it's a packed out schedule. And we have to bear in mind, like I said, this is straight after the Euros. And then the last game, whether it's August 6th, or if there's, like I've said, if there's another game in between or something, but August 6th, Real Madrid could be the last game. A few days later, we start the season. So there's not going to be any time to get to it at Cobham. It's all going to be in the States in terms of pre-season. Everything we need to do in terms of preparation needs to be done in the States. It's not ideal. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below. Now we move slightly. Here's the latest from Real Madrid, and I'm going to talk about a current Chelsea employee. Thibaut Courtois suffered a meniscus injury in the other knee. Maximum concerns at Real Madrid. He left the training in tears. This came out, and Real Madrid since then have released an official comunicado, an official statement, saying that he could be out for about 6 to 7 weeks. So it's not the end of the world, but Real Madrid right now are in a bit of a pickle. Lunin is currently the number 1 choice goalkeeper. I just want to put it out there. Real Madrid, listen, you might be in a bit of an issue. Maybe Thibaut Courtois starting to become injury prone, right? You need a backup goalkeeper, I'm guessing, because you've given number 1 to Lunin. And if he's going to be the number 1, Well, how about you keep your current number 2, right? And send us 40 mil. Keep Kepa, 40 million. Please. Thank you very much. If you can do that before June 30th as well, that would be great. Just no reason, just before June 30th. Cheers. Let's move before they find out. Manchester United. I read this and I was like, nah, it can't be. I saw Jim Ratcliffe's interview earlier on. Not the whole thing, but I read quotes. And a bits of it, I was like, yo, you know what? He's speaking some sense in terms of talking about the importance, like of the point we mentioned earlier, between experience and young players. And he was talking about what the United team is actually missing at the moment in terms of position. He referenced Paul Scholes and that Iniesta sort of role. And I'm like, yo, this guy knows a bit or two about football, which is, as a United fan, that would sound very promising. And then this came out. Check this out from the Times. Erik ten Hag to be sacked if Man United can convince Gareth Southgate to quit England. Just saying this now. If United go and get Gareth Southgate, right? Firstly, great. Secondly, I take back everything I said about Jim Ratcliffe. Because I've had only anything but criticism to give to Ratcliffe so far. I've given him just praise, nothing but praise. So if they actually go and get Gareth Southgate, right, I take back all my praise. But I ain't complaining. In fact, I think you should do it. Gareth Southgate, top gaffer. Yeah. Got England to a final and got England to a semi-final. Apart from that, there's nothing else. But he's a top manager. So go and get Gareth, please, urgently. So that's the latest in terms of that. But this is where it starts to get a little bit interesting. Because this came out, right? No word of a lie. This came out first. And then 1 hour later, this happened. Boom! 18-year-old Kobe Mainoo has been called up to the England men's national team for the first time. What do you all think? Right decision. The official announcement had come out. Mainoo was called up. I'm just saying. 2 + 2 = 4. What if Gareth Southgate wants to dabble in the Man United pot a little bit and go, maybe I want to find out what he's about before I go to Old Trafford. Let's see what United have at the moment. Let's, who knows? Why I say this is because, look, as much as I want to say Mainoo, so far, top talent, right? And does he deserve the call-up? For what he has shown, you can justify why he's been called up. But I also have to stress this point home. I think the English are making the same... I don't want to say the same sort of mistake, because you never know how a player is going to turn out. But I think they're walking down the same path that have destroyed a lot of England's unbelievable youth prospects in the past. Once they reach a certain age, they just fizzle out. I think we're sending Mainoo now down the same path. Why? Because we have to bring some context to the situation here, right? He's 18. Mainoo, for what he has shown so far at United, very promising. But I stress, very promising. That doesn't mean, boom, he is everything that we've been looking for. He's the article. That's it. He is it. He is the answer. Like, no. In fact, we can go into a little bit of detail. He's played 23 matches for Manchester United, right? He played in the under-21s, the youth league. He came up from Man United, right? But he's played 15 Premier League games, in total 23 times for Manchester United. He's never even played for the England under-21 team yet. He's played for the under-19s 6 times. He was called up for the under-21s this time. And then Southgate went, nah, I'll take him. And now everyone's like, oh my God, wow, Kobe Mainoo, yes, oh, now we got to go into the midfield, him, Bellingham and Rice, oh my God, like, he's just started. This is the same path that many players have been put down before at this age, and they crumbled because everyone was hyping so early, way too soon, and making these players feel like they are it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've made it. Like, no, you haven't even started, mate. But so far, definitely very promising. But there hasn't been any mileage on this kid yet. No mileage whatsoever. Boom, straight into the England team. I worry a little bit here. I think people got to slow down. He needs to just, look, as far as I'm concerned, I think he should have been called up to the under-21s. Under-21s, fantastic. He's starting there, no problem. And then take it from there, step by step, man, step by step. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe down the line, yeah, maybe, he turns into flipping, maybe he goes down the same route like Bukayo Saka has. Maybe, right? But the one justification to all of this that I've not mentioned yet, which has helped Mainoo, and I think why he's got the fast track ticket, is because of the position he plays. People are talking about, why is Harvey Elliott not being called up? And I agree to an extent. Why has Harvey Elliott not been called up? I think he's been class. But Mainoo's position is why. Are England going to keep relying on Jordan Henderson? Are we looking to anyone else in that role? Or Calvin Phillips? Or is Mainoo going to get in? Mainoo can play centre mid, proper deep centre mid, not like attacking. He can play attacking mid, but centre mid, but also defensive mid. He's also a DM. And this is where I think England are lacking this one position. This is the one role that we have not got nailed down. There's Declan Rice, obviously, right? Declan Rice is there, but that's it. Do you know what I mean? Which is why I think in terms of the squad, yeah, you could argue there's room for a Mainoo to walk in, but I'm just saying, don't rush it. With a Mainoo, don't rush it. And don't make him out to be a superstar when he hasn't even started walking, let alone running. Do you know what I mean? He's just started, man. So I think it would be best for him if if everyone calms down and just let him take it slow. Yeah, for him, let it take it slow. Because the call-up was so sudden. And this is where I think you've got to be careful. This is England we're talking about. This is the national team. This isn't a club. This is the national team, and he's just been plucked out. So with caution, take it easy. But like I said, so far, what he has shown at Manchester United in the few games that we have seen him, yeah, he looks promising. He looks promising. He looks like he's got a fantastic brain, and he looks like he knows how to run really quickly with the ball. What I mean by that, I mean his decisions, the way that he moves, the way that he decides, what he decides to do is really instinctful, and I think that's a quality. So fair play to him for the call up. He didn't ask for it; it came to him, and congrats. But everyone, I think, needs to just let him play it out, yeah? Let him play it out, and we'll see where we go from there. So, there we are. Let me know your thoughts down below. With everything that I've mentioned. Joe Cole's words, let me know down below. Chelsea's pre-season tour and the calendar, what do you think? Let me know down below. Southgate to Man United, let me know down below. And Mainoo to England as well, let me know your thoughts on that. And I will catch all of you tomorrow for a brand new one, so make sure you guys are here for that. To be here for that, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Socials are on screen as well as in the description. Much appreciated. And I will catch all of you tomorrow for a brand new one, or maybe a brand new two. Let's see if it's a double upload or not. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, people. See you lot then. Take care and peace.